Good morning from Prudent Prosperity, Friday, September the 19th. Here are 5 things you need to know today. Number 1. Stock futures are slightly higher after markets hit record highs yesterday on a surge in tech stocks. Futures tied to the benchmark S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the tech-heavy Nasdaq were each up about 0.1% recently. The Russell 2000 Small Cap Index recorded its first record close since November 2021 on Thursday, amid optimism about the prospect for further interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve. The yield on the 10-year Treasury, which affects borrowing costs on all sorts of loans, is at 4.14% this morning, up from yesterday's close. Bitcoin is down slightly at around $116,500, while gold futures are holding steady at around $3,680 an ounce. Number 2. President Donald Trump is scheduled to speak with Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Friday to negotiate a deal to keep video app TikTok operating in the U.S., according to media reports. 1. The call is expected to come at around 9 a.m. Eastern Time. A reported framework for a deal would have Oracle lead a consortium of companies that operate the social media app. Trump this week signed an executive order to push back a deadline for Chinese owner ByteDance to divest its ownership of the company, extending it to mid-December. Oracle shares were up about 1% in pre-market trading. Number 3. Apple's iPhone 17 lineup went on sale Friday, reportedly drawing long lines of customers in Europe and Asia amid strong demand for the new products, especially for the Pro models. The iPhone 17 features 4 models, including the Air, its thinnest model to date. Other models feature longer battery life, more scratch-resistant materials, and better cameras than earlier models. Apple stock has lost 5% of its value since the start of the year, making it the only member of the Magnificent Seven group of megacap tech companies to lose ground. Investors have been concerned that Apple has been slow to bring artificial intelligence features into its products. Apple shares were up about 1% ahead of the bell on Friday. Number 4. FedEx shares moved higher as the company reinstated its full-year outlook after suspending it in June over tariff uncertainty. FedEx said it expects 4% to 6% revenue growth this fiscal year, above analysts' estimates as compiled by Visible Alpha. FedEx posted adjusted earnings per share of $3.83 on revenue that climbed close to 3% to $22.2 billion in the first quarter, topping analysts' estimates, as volumes in the U.S. rose. The shipper also said it's on track to reduce costs by $1 billion in fiscal 2026 and spin off its freight business by next June. FedEx shares, which had lost about a fifth of their value so far in 2025 coming into today's session, were up about 1% in recent pre-market trading, well off their earlier gains. Number 5. Homebuilder Lennar reported declining quarterly profits amid continued sluggishness in the U.S. housing market. The company reported adjusted earnings per share of $2.29 for its fiscal third quarter, above analyst estimates tracked by Visible Alpha, but lower than the $4.26 it reported in the year-ago quarter. Lennar's quarterly revenue of $8.8 billion was more than 6% lower than the year-ago quarter and below the Visible Alpha consensus. Lennar increased new orders by 12%, but it had to rely on incentives to achieve those results, sending the average sales price down to $383,000 and reducing its gross margin by 17.5%. Shares of Lennar were down nearly 3% in pre-market trading. And that's it for today.
If any of today's insights sparked a question or made you think about your own financial journey, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Let's take your next step together, strategically and confidently. And always remember, stay prudent, stay prosperous, make it a great day.